1926.1414 Wire rope, selection and installation to Subpart C. C. Cranes and derricks in construction. 1926.1414 A. Original equipment wire rope and replacement wire rope must be selected and installed in accordance with the requirements of this section. Selection of replacement wire rope must be in accordance with the recommendations of the wire rope manufacturer, the equipment manufacturer, or a qualified person. 1926.1414 B. Wire rope design criteria. Wire rope, other than rotation-resistant rope, must comply with either option 1 or option 2 of this section as follows. 1926.1414 B1 and B2. Option 1. Wire rope must comply with Section 5-1.7.1 of ASME B 30.5-2004, incorporated by reference. See Section 1926.6, except that section's paragraph C must not apply. Option 2. Wire rope must be designed to have, in relation to the equipment's rated capacity, a sufficient minimum breaking force and design factor so that compliance with the applicable inspection provisions in Section 1926.1413 will be an effective means of preventing sudden rope failure. 1926.1414 C. Wire rope must be compatible with the safe functioning of the equipment. 1926.1414 D. Boom hoist reeving. 1926.1414 D1 and D2. Fiber core ropes must not be used for boom hoist reeving, except for derricks. Rotation-resistant ropes must be used for boom hoist reeving only where the requirements of paragraph E4(2) of this section are met. 1926.1414 E. Rotation-resistant ropes. 1926.1414 E1. Definitions. 1926.1414 E1 I through E1 3. Type 1 rotation-resistant wire rope. Type 1. Type 1 rotation-resistant rope is stranded rope constructed to have little or no tendency to rotate or, if guided, transmits little or no torque. It has at least 15 outer strands and comprises an assembly of at least 3 layers of strands laid helically over a center in 2 operations. The direction of lay of the outer strands is opposite to that of the underlying layer. Type 2 rotation-resistant wire rope. Type 2. Type 2 rotation-resistant rope is stranded rope constructed to have significant resistance to rotation. It has at least 10 outer strands and comprises an assembly of 2 or more layers of strands laid helically over a center in 2 or 3 operations. The direction of lay of the outer strands is opposite to that of the underlying layer. Type 3 rotation-resistant wire rope. Type 3. Type 3 rotation-resistant rope is stranded rope constructed to have limited resistance to rotation. It has no more than 9 outer strands, and comprises an assembly of 2 layers of strands laid helically over a center in 2 operations. The direction of lay of the outer strands is opposite to that of the underlying layer. 1926.1414 E2. Requirements. 1926.1414 E2 I through E2 4. Types 2 and 3 with an operating design factor of less than 5 must not be used for duty cycle or repetitive lifts. Rotation-resistant ropes, including types 1, 2 and 3, must have an operating design factor of no less than 3.5. Type 1 must have an operating design factor of no less than 5, except where the wire rope manufacturer and the equipment manufacturer approves the design factor in writing. Types 2 and 3 must have an operating design factor of no less than 5, except where the requirements of paragraph E3 of this section are met. 1926.1414 E3. When types 2 and 3 with an operating design factor of less than 5 are used, for non-duty cycle, non-repetitive lifts, the following requirements must be met for each lifting operation. 1926.1414 E3 I through E3 3. A qualified person must inspect the rope in accordance with Section 1926.1413 A. The rope must be used only if the qualified person determines that there are no deficiencies constituting a hazard. In making this determination, more than one broken wire in any one rope lay must be considered a hazard. Operations must be conducted in such a manner and at such speeds as to minimize dynamic effects. Each lift made under Section 1926.1414 E3 must be recorded in the monthly and annual inspection documents. Such prior uses must be considered by the qualified person in determining whether to use the rope again. 1926.1414 E4 Additional requirements for rotation-resistant ropes for boom hoist reeving. 1926.1414 E4 I Rotation-resistant ropes must not be used for boom hoist reeving, except where the requirements of paragraph E4(2) of this section are met. 1926.1414 E4(2) Rotation-resistant ropes may be used as boom hoist reeving when load hoists are used as boom hoists for attachments such as luffing attachments or boom and mast attachment systems. Under these conditions, all of the following requirements must be met. 1926.1414 E4(2) A through G The drum must provide a first layer rope pitch diameter of not less than 18 times the nominal diameter of the rope used. The requirements in section 1926.1426 A, irrespective of the date of manufacture of the equipment, and section 1926.1426 B. The requirements in ASME 30.5-2004 sections 5-1.3.2 A, 2 through A4, B, and D, incorporated by reference, see section 1926.6, except that the minimum pitch diameter for sheaves used in multiple rope reeving is 18 times the nominal diameter of the rope used, instead of the value of 16 specified in section 5-1.3.2 D. All sheaves used in the boom hoist reeving system must have a rope pitch diameter of not less than 18 times the nominal diameter of the rope used. The operating design factor for the boom hoist reeving system must be not less than 5. The operating design factor for these ropes must be the total minimum breaking force of all parts of rope in the system divided by the load imposed on the rope system when supporting the static weights of the structure and the load within the equipment's rated capacity. When provided, a power-controlled lowering system must be capable of handling rated capacities and speeds as specified by the manufacturer. 1926.1414 F. Wire rope clips used in conjunction with wedge sockets must be attached to the unloaded dead end of the rope only, except that the use of devices specifically designed for dead-ending rope in a wedge socket is permitted. 1926.1414 G. Socketing must be done in the manner specified by the manufacturer of the wire rope or fitting. 1926.1414 H. Prior to cutting a wire rope, seizings must be placed on each side of the point to be cut. The length and number of seizings must be in accordance with the wire rope manufacturer's instructions.